Alrighty. That is not my music, Facebook. So we're about to go on live. Just trying to set up, sorry. Watching the football game right now. In the background, we have the band that will be featured today on Rockland Revolution, you guys. This is Shallow
Here we
Side,
go.
man. You want to try this? I hope you guys are tuning in.
What's up, man? How are you?
That's you guys.
Nice, man. Thank you so much for having us on, setting up the meeting, joining us, letting us be on you live, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Shallow Side coming
brother.
on Rockland Revolution right here. There we go. We got Sam. We got Sam and Eric here.
Am I sideways right
What
now?
is up? That is so cool, guys.
You like my crown? My
That's awesome. What kind of guitar you got with you? Oh, look. What's he drinking? What do we got there? What kind of water do we have?
This Pennsylvania's finest right here. Yingling
PRS guitar, and it's cool because PRS is a company in Maryland where I live, and Eric lives in South Carolina.
Oh.
Where are you at, man?
Wow. We are in deep South Texas, close to South Padre.
Yeah, we were just talking about the show.
What's up, everybody? This is Rick Phoenix with Rockland Revolution. This is season 2 and episode number 2 with the amazing Shallow Side, man. I can't believe you guys are on the show, bros. That's crazy. I remember just you know when you're searching for new music and everything like that. Now it's so cool that you're allowed to find all these kind of bands that you definitely fall in love with as as a musicians and everything. And I remember hearing Try to Fight It, and that totally brought me in. So let me know how long ago did you guys make that song? Like, I remember you guys did an acoustic version too.
So
right?
let me ask, before I jump into this absolutely long spiel, because once I get the ball rolling, I'm not gonna shut. It's a problem. When did you first hear the song Try to Fight It?
It was within these 2 years.
The past 2 years? Okay, so
yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I love it. Thank you so much for looking for new bands, new music, like the stuff, man. I do the same thing. I love that you do it because it like reassures me that either I am crazy and I have a community out there, or we're all just we're just crazy doing it by ourselves. But it makes me feel a little better knowing that there is a community of humans that do the same thing that I do.
Yes, definitely needed that music during COVID. We definitely needed that music.
Yeah, bro.
Tell you that.
So 2010, we started our band in the foothills of northern Alabama. We kind of played in the back shed, and it kind of grew into a party crowd that eventually we decided that we wasn't going to play cover songs anymore. And the original that we were playing recorded Try to Fight It, the EP.
Oh, okay.
And so that came with our
the same
debut
members,
single.
like from the original. I mean, like when you first started.
No.
Okay.
Right now we have the original members are our drummer, which is not here, the long-haired hippie Lieutenant Dan looking guy. My version, not the put together guy.
Yeah.
Myself, Sam here, and then that's what we're working right now. So we had a bit of a revolving member situation sitting with the bass world for a hot minute. Sam has came in and been the life force for that direction.
Awesome.
Man, it's been a growing love hate experience with art, with humans, specifically because like this world that we live in is it's retail, and I think we can agree that retail is probably the worst. Dealing with humans sucks the worst, but with our specific direction, for like it's healing properties. So the humans that we get to interact with, like they're also in love with music. We're in love with music. So the mutual bond really sells that. If we were selling just T-shirts, I'm not sure I would have lasted this long. I gotta be honest.
We do it for the art. We do it.
Yeah.
For for the therapy, like right, like to write something maybe that you need to get out of, and like I said, that was a good time to what did y'all do during COVID and everything when everything got shut down? I mean that might have big time
It was like a whole
impacted
year, doing the covers and stuff.
Yeah, we started crossing a lot of hairs, man. We were one of those bands or kind of outfits that was like, sure, we'll play. If you want us to jump through all these hoops, we'll do it. If everyone needs to be in a bubble, we'll still play. We're doing all we can. Please let us survive. Down to like a dude a stranglehold, because I mean, you talk about all these mom and pops places that were struggling during COVID, and for good reasons, right? They everybody was struggling, but I think something that got just a little overlooked was the dudes that were in the clubs every weekend and half the week, and making the work week not seem as long, because I got this Wednesday rock show down at the local bar. It's Shallow Size popping off. They're about to do that thing. Yeah. And then, COVID, no one's doing that. There's not a Wednesday open. There's not a Saturday open. So, like, that whole world, once it closed, we were doing all we can, to stay in a bubble, to play as many shows as we could. But, like most of the country the world was shut down.
Did you guys do any of like the lives and everything like that, kind of like live performances where maybe somebody will,
of live, the few for colleges, which was the coolest thing. We just had probably 50, 60 dorm room kids just like jamming in their dorm, a live band in this warehouse, which was like pretty gnarly, man. Pretty cool. But we did take that time and we went to the studio. Instamix Live, that's what it was. And we did 3 songs, all classic rock cover songs during that time frame.
What's the name of the song? Is it Renegade?
Renegade was on our 3rd EP. But we did these.
You did a great job, guys. Like, I really liked it. I was like, okay, let me check it out first, right? Yeah. And you're like, okay, you know how it goes. You're going, okay, can they do it? Can they do it? You killed it. You killed it, like in a good way. Great. But sorry.
But that's what we did. We stuck around in the studio in the places that wouldn't let us play. We worked on our craft. We sharpened our skills and our swords.
Eric, what do you do in the studio, like, to get ready for your part? Like, is there a certain ritual or anything that you do? If it's not, maybe that I was gonna say maybe a little bit of a drink to kind of loosen it up,
Panic Express and beer.
Yeah.
Basically, you just go in there and just start destroying your body. Normal warm-ups. Fortunately, the studio is not a performance. It's not a on-set performance theater. You're not performing for an audience. You're getting it right, and by God, if you got to do it 150 times, that's how many times you're going to do it. So I don't have to go through a strenuous warm-up routine. For me, it's more of an inspirational endeavor. I'm writing the lyrics. I'm finding the melodies. I'm listening to the things that Sam is putting together with his musical artistry, and then I'm doing my best to see where my personality fits into the mold of what we're all creating, and trying to bring it to life. It has their own world that they're prepping for, but that's kind of the home that I'm sitting in. And I can't lie, like, that specific zone right there is probably why I will always need a form of drugs. It's that like I gotta to that shit, man, and now I can't stop. Like, I'm gonna always be searching for the dragon, man. Like, all looking for that new inspirational riff. The next melody that's gonna like transcend me into the next orbit and be like,
ooh, of course. You gotta definitely want to sing over that song or melody or whatever you're doing. Like, for instance, just an example, I know for sure when I go into the studio and I record my vocals, I like to do some kind of like imagery, maybe like kind of lower the lights down and kind of put what something that'll remind me or make me feel something for that subject that we're writing about or something like that. But like that can do it too. I mean, maybe a little bit of I used to drink a lot of Jack Daniels, so that helped a lot.
I've noticed that the more that I drink, the less I probably should sing.
Yeah.
The more confident I become.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Probably it doesn't perform as well in a studio versus a theater. If we were to play a live show, I'm the Jack Daniels guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're about to tear it up for the next hour.
Loved it, man. Dude, me and Heath, our drummer, went to go see Styx in North Carolina, and they played Renegade, and me and Heath are sitting there in the audience like jamming out to Renegade, like it's crazy.
Like, what do you do to prepare for your part? Like, is there
like
any
the ultimate
ritual,
form of just like, can you do it? Can you do it?
Can you do it? That's cool.
The hardest part is that whenever we play live, I normally play bass with my fingers. And when you play bass with your fingers, you don't get necessarily as much equal volume resonance as when you use a pick on bass. So when you're tracking bass for a track, you definitely want to you're already in a different mindset entirely in terms of like your performance and delivery. So I guess the ultimate goal is just how accurate can you be with keeping your pick strokes exactly the same every single time, no matter what the riff is and stuff like that. So I guess it's just kind of swapping your focus from like performance mode into just like be a robot.
You all essentially turn into 5 and 6 year old boys in the studio where everyone's like holding onto their bicycle handlebars, but one guy's down the lane and that amp is sitting at the end, and they're all like, "Is he about to do it? Is he about to
do it?"
Oh, we get 4 clicks past the measure where he's supposed to be. We all realize he nailed it, bro.
I know the feeling.
You look over, Heath's foot's on fire in the studio. What's going on? That happened to us this year. We looked down and foot was just on fire.
So who's in the band right now? Like, what's the lineup? Since not everybody's here today, just to kind of let the audience know who's in the band and who's the craziest one.
Dude, Heath is the craziest man I've ever met, and he's our drummer and our faithful mascot, if you will, the animal behind the kit, and he is a huge part of why Shallow Side is what they are today.
Yeah.
And he's probably exhausted just like I am. We just drove back from North Carolina. He drove back to Alabama, and I drove back to Maryland.
Wow.
So probably
just jump out of y'all in the chat that's first time listeners or viewers of Shallow Side, and as well as you, give you a quick rundown of Heath. One time we were
this one time like how you started that
ready for tour, and we're all prepped. We're about a week and a half before this tour goes on, and this was pre-COVID, so we're looking at like 35 dates stacked out from August to late October, and we're just prepping, getting ready. Week and a half out, we get a phone call, and he's like, "Bro, you won't even believe what just happened." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I'm just gonna let you talk to my mom." Heath's mother was sent from heaven. She doesn't lie. She can't lie. She's not made to. She's different, right? She's anointed. And she's like, "Well, I don't believe that Heath is going to be able to drum for a little bit longer." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, Snapping Turtle has bit his thumb and severed the tendon that contracts his thumb to his hand. Wasn't able to grip anything, and I was like,
"Ouch!
A snapping turtle? What are you talking about?
What the hell?
What are you talking about?" Listen, man, I had to have Mama tell you about it, but you wouldn't believe this, man. Snapping turtle came out of nowhere, man. That thing about 8 foot big, dog. You won't believe that thing. And I was like, "What? I believe what?" He's like, "I got it."
What the tour?
Yeah, he said, "I gotta go next month, and I gotta have a cadaver's tendon put in his thumb, so he could." Yeah, so now that's what happened. He has a dead person's tendon in his hand. So like it is the thing that is on Pirates of the Caribbean, where the person just starts becoming part of the ship. Heath is
part of
part of the dead crew.
Where do you guys call home? Like, where do you guys? What would y'all say, y'all? You know.
So, I think as a band,
Yes,
if we were to
as a band.
a band, America
America. Okay.
would be our.
Okay. Good answer, of course. Yes.
It's the best.
But
Put it. We're an American.
there you go.
But I live in Charleston, South Carolina. Sam lives in Brunswick, Maryland.
Yeah.
Heath lives in Coleman, Alabama. We're just like spread. We're just spread.
Is that hard to like to get together and kind of like, or how do y'all do that?
We're fortunate to have the professional mentality that we do have, because we can rehearse, practice, understand our pieces on our own, and when we come together and put that puzzle together, our camaraderie is unmistakable. So it's an undeniable trait. When we put it all together, it just vibes so quickly that it's just one or two times through and we're good to go. So unfortunately, something that we definitely probably should have. I know that's something that we all do want, but at this stage of the game, it's just not. It's not very feasible.
No, you said it. You said it right there. You guys are professionals. Like you have to know your stuff and get there. Hey, who writes the songs? Who's the?
We all.
How does that work with Shallow Side?
We all do. It comes from. Our music comes from an inspiring place. It comes from a place lived. And learned from. So we end in it. The drums come from the drum world. The bass comes from the bass world. Guitars come from the guitar world. The lyrics come from an honest standpoint. A lot of times, I'll be the one, at the helm of the pencil, but that's not particularly always the case. I sing for the band, and I write lyrics and melodies for the band, but I also write guitar licks for the band. And I think
I was gonna ask you if any of y'all like play other instruments or anything.
I don't. It's more of a mouth situation, but fortunately, like I could just mimic anything on an instrument, and Sam can perform it. So like the beautiful part of that marriage is that the idea can be presented, and we can all really find, using lyrics and Heath for a particular statement. Heath could probably call pigs better than anyone in Alabama, but we're not really in the pig calling business, so the way that he says it might not come across the right way. So your boy, I'm the man. Heath is like, this is what we should say, and I'm like, well, what if we say it like this? And he's like, exactly.
Dude, that's what like the last 2 years before we released our most recent release, we wrote 6 genres worth of songs over the course of 2 years or so. We went from this woodsy, folksy bluegrass color to this downright solemn, I don't even know. I was thinking of the one we did with the guys in Boston, and then then we went and did a bunch of metal songs, and then we did radio rock style. It's so it was kind of an adventure, man. And I think that's a cool thing about the Saints and Sinners album from Shallow Side too, is that it's not just not just active rock, man. It's you have all these different
you can hear that. Yeah, you can definitely hear that. But yet, at the end of the day, I don't know how to describe it, but it still sounds like Shallow Side. Whatever you bring together, and I think Eric has that. I don't know, great voice, by the way. I love it. What has inspired you, the singing, for the singing stuff? Where did you get that from? The style?
Church. Like most people in the South, gotta sing. When the choir be singing, I gotta be singing too. If I wasn't singing loud enough, it was one of those flicks on the back of the head, or it was one of those looks from across the hallway from another that said, "Hey, if I can't hear you, God can't hear you either." So that's basically where music started for me. However, it wasn't until I had been to it was a Christian rock concert one of my first ones where I was like, yo, this is probably the first time I had ever heard a guitar plugged in to power, and then that power pushed it through the speaker. And when that happened, I lost my shit. I was like, yo, this is way cooler than Legos. This beats every Tonka truck I've ever owned, period. This is right up there with Titanic titties. Like right there. I'm talking about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sitting on, you know,
Yeah.
my
That
mind.
was funny.
And then from that point, I was like, yo, this is the coolest thing. I love me some music. And then I went to a concert. It ended up I was working construction and I was cutting vinyl siding for a house, and I dug a box blade. I don't know if you could see it, but I got a pretty gnarly scar. Right. Anyway, I dug a box blade down into here, so I had to take a couple of days off of work because of that, and I ended up using what little money that I was making. You know, the guy that was shoving knives into his hand for no reason. I used whatever money that I had saved up, and I bought a ticket to a rock and roll concert at an arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And on it was 3 bands that I knew.
Okay.
And I bought the ticket for Shinedown. I was like, yo, this is going to be gnarly. Direct support for that show was Saving Able. And I was like, yo, and those guys are pretty close to home, being from the west side of Tennessee and the northern part of Mississippi. I was like, yo, those dudes are right in my zone.
Great bands.
I know those humans. And then the opener on the bill was 10 years. Now, what they didn't have on that bill was the actual opener for the band, because it was a 4-band bill. And then I'm sitting there in the stands and I'm watching and I'm ready. This is my first concert, man. I've never been to like a legit rock and roll concert. Everything before this was kind of like a youth introductory to like, you know, that type of world. And then this was like an arena rock show. Like this was the big, and the crowd was electric. We didn't even start at the night. You know what I mean? I'm not old to drink, but I'm drunk out of my mind right now, just out of the atmosphere. I'm just like, I'm everything right now. This is incredible. And then the lights go out. This hooded lady walks on stage with a guitar. Bro, you just hear those heels clack. I'm in love with somebody. Lizzie Hale just gets up on fire. Right after that, Jesse Hassick in 10 years, they just like murder the place. Saving Able jumps on the show. They absolutely kill it, and that was with Jared at the time, and he's back in the band now. And then Shinedown. And I, dude, had basically what I would consider like a spiritual moment. Like, and that, it was an awakening for me. I grew up, I'd say moderately to fairly poor. Definitely. Grew up in a trailer park where things were very difficult to earn, even if you tried your best. Life wasn't going to happen for you where I'm from. So when I saw that, I was like, I don't care if I ever make a dime. And I'm glad that I had that notation, because music, in fact, does not make a dime. So like, I was like, me, man, this is great. That was where my inspiration had basically started from, and then kind of grew.
Have you ever toured with any of those bands that you mentioned right now?
We have toured,
because that would be an amazing lineup with you guys in it. Like,
bro, that would be. We've toured with 10 years a few times. We've played several shows with Hailstorm since then. We've done several tours with Saving Able. One of those tours with Saving Able, I nearly died. Smashed my face into I curb stomped my whole face into a sidewalk on accident. Walking can be difficult We have not toured with Countdown, but we played some acoustic shows with Zach Myers. Shout out Zach
Yeah.
Myers.
What are
Awesome
the
dude.
what are the touring plans? Are anything coming up here for 2023?
Yeah, this weekend we're going to be in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. That's weird space up there. But it's going to be a support the troops show. So we're doing a bit in the military. That's going to be an awesome event. We got Rockford, Illinois coming up on Friday. That's going to be gnarly. Looking forward to that one. And then in March, we're going to be all across the U.S. I believe we actually do. I don't want to mess this up, but I think we do have some Texas dates.
Yes, I believe so. I think Sam had mentioned maybe some Texas dates, which I definitely want to show up to one of those. I think if you're closer more to San Antonio or around that area, lower Texas, we'll definitely try to make it out.
How far are you guys from Juarez?
I think that's El Paso. That would be like way up there. Yeah. We're like way down south, close to Mexico. I'm literally 5 miles away from the Mexico
we played
U.S. border.
in an arena with Saliva and Puddle of Mud and Sons of Texas.
They're friends of mine. Yeah, they're from down here.
Yeah, those are the homies right there.
Mark's a good friend of mine.
We played with them, man, and I wish I could ask them because like I'm just so bad with names. We've been on the road too long now. I feel like everything looks the same, but I remember the words, man. There was a lady, and she came out, and she was like, listen, where you're at here, you're safe. You see that fence right there? You're not safe if you're close to it, okay? You don't on the other side of it.
Yeah.
They'll take you there if you're trying to be don't get close to it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But that was near the border down there in Texas. I should look that up, and then I'm going to have to write you.
Yeah.
You know. It was
event. Yeah, that's cool that you guys got to play with Sons of Texas, and I had no idea that you guys played with them at some point or something.
Yeah,
you know,
I think we've done 2 tours with those dudes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell Mark, the singer. I'll let him know I spoke with you guys. What has been your best experience touring, like your best show? What's something you remember that you totally like? You just, it's just something that it's amazing to you, right? And what has been your worst?
When the power went out that one time on you guys, and you guys had to use the art power to like power the stage, or some shit like that. And then for me, let's take it the best shit. I felt like this year talking to Lizzie Hale and like just like not just like what her ascent over the past like 10 years of like where she's at now, considered like hyper rock god status. And like I like just thought she was really cool when we were talking to each other, and I like went to like say goodbye and like went to go give her a handshake. She like pulled me in for a hug, and I was like,
that's awesome.
That is pretty. That is pretty gnarly. Also, Sam ended up winning. Dude, we were in the middle of tour. Sam won backstage meet and greet tickets with Nickelback for Sirius XM Octane. So on a whim, for no reason at all, like that was a thing. Sam done that. That was a cool thing.
Yeah.
Just died for no reason at all. He's just like, all right, now I'm gonna do this thing. That
the worst.
A shitty situation, but it all like going to what Sam had alluded to a minute ago. The power went out. The storm was pretty nasty one night, and there was the whole city lost power. We pulled our RV up to the front of the bar right there, and we ran an extension cord from our generator to the stage, and we mic'd it up where Trapped and Shallow Side could play an acoustic show in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which was the shittiest cool situation, because it was like, all right, well, it's over. We should all go home. And then we were like, yeah, not yet. The beer is still cold back there. I know the cooler's just shut off. So we got one of the coolest for me was I think probably 3 or 4 years into us performing, and I don't want to say that this is the coolest, but it was one of the coolest moments. Was we were playing direct support in Parkersburg, West Virginia, for My Darkest Days. You guys familiar with My Darkest Days?
Yeah.
Porn star dance.
Hell yeah.
So, those dudes were headlining the show. We were direct support, and there were probably every bit of 4,000 to 5,000 people jammed into what you could probably consider the 20-yard line to the field goal post of a football field.
Okay.
So we're asses to elbows, bro, just like smushed up the stage right on the back of the hair of the person in the back row is the Ohio River, and this sunset is coming down, and we're playing our song, and the song was called Out of Reach, and this crowd knew the song, and they sang it louder than my microphone could carry over. And I left there that night, and I think I called every person that would answer my phone call. And I was like, you won't believe this shit. You will not believe this. We wrote this song 2 years ago. There's 4,000 people sitting out here right in the middle of West Virginia jamming with it. I've lost my mind. Good night, Ohio. Yeah. I'm out of here.
Definitely rewarding, right? That's definitely rewarding.
That was probably the second awakening of music that came into my soul, and I was like, oh, it's not just about writing that music, is it there, buddy boy?
Yeah.
There's a whole new dragon to be chasing now. So,
you got the new album, right? When did y'all release the worst? Is it the worst kind?
So the worst kind came out in the
new single.
The later part.
Latest single. Sorry.
That's our latest single. Yep.
Yeah.
That came in the later part of fall, and
it's a little heavier, right?
Yeah.
It feels like a little heavier. I like that.
Yeah, we done that one with Dawson at
Studios.
Yeah.
Aphotic.
I'm doing so bad with names. So right there in Wichita, Kansas, and did that song with him and Jimmy, and that turned out a lot heavier, man. We started experimenting with darker tones and tuning, and really started opening up the palette to what Shallow Side really started setting the tone for a new wave. So that one was released in the backside of the fall of last year. Currently in the top 40s on the charts, for the rock charts. So that's what that says, man. We're blessed right now. That's what we're
definitely. Everybody that's tuning in right now. By the way, there's a lot of messages. I'm paying attention to you guys. So this is probably the most I've had actually, like, people responding. Like, that's crazy. So I don't know if you guys later want to check on that and everything. Maybe. But definitely, guys.
The Shallow Side fan base. This is our homies right here. Adam, Amy. Mickey, Jeff, like, they're all here. Freddie.
Yeah, shout out to everybody out there. Thank you for joining us here on Rockland Revolution. Make sure to check out their music if you haven't. This is Shallow Side, guys. Eric and Mr. Sam. I know you've toured with some bands and everything, but if you could tour with a band in 2023, who would you go with?
I feel like for right now, honestly, those shows with Hailstorm are pretty spectacular. Going out with Alta Bridge will be absolutely incredible. I'd settle for going out with pretty much a lot of people, man. A lot of people are absolutely killing it right. We like Cherry, Blackstone Cherry's a great band.
That's so true. You know what? Every time that I'm asked that, I always like put myself in the scenario. Like, you know what would be cool to tour with this band, to tour with that band, to tour with this band, to tour with that.
Yeah.
But I realized that, like, there probably isn't a band that I wouldn't tour with just to experience what their live show is in totality. Because that's a very cool experience. We recently went on tour with Aranda and got to jam with those.
Aranda, hell yeah.
Man, and talk about talent. They are through and through musicians, and it was so cool, so inspiring to see them perform so incredible every night. And vocally, just like talented humans. So to say that like I would want it to, probably Kanye West. If it had to be a dream do it,
Yeah.
be Kanye West and Drake and then Eminem headlining. Like
Eminem.
with Garth Brooks intermediate like acoustic. Let's go.
Let's go, right?
Have Young Gravy in there too. Shout out to them.
You guys any plans for any new releases coming up soon? Like a single?
We
maybe.
definitely have some. We definitely have some pots cooking in the kitchen right now. Whether we are prepared, to go for another release ASAP is debatable, and I think honestly we're probably sitting right there in it. We got some heaters sitting in the bullpen ready to launch, and it's right now. I think that our best case scenario is to keep rocking with the worst kind, and spread out the fan base, and then we're gonna look a little deeper into the fan base and gauge interest and see what the people want to hear that we've written, and we're excited, super pumped about a lot of stuff that we got.
I think you guys are supposed to go on tour with Blah and Scotty Austin.
Yeah, that's the one that's coming through.
That's the tour is coming up, right?
Around we
get the Denver.
Yeah.
When does that kick off? Next week or?
That's in March.
Yeah, 1st of March.
Okay, March. That's the March. Okay. Where can everybody check out your stuff? Who Shallow Side is, by the way. Make sure to check them out, guys. Amazing band. Great songs. Definitely my two favorite right now. Try to Fight It and definitely the worst kind right now are my two top right now. But the cover also of Renegade is pretty badass too.
Nice, man. The easiest place to find our music is on any and all streaming platforms. You can just put in Shallow Side. It's really easy to find us there. If that doesn't work, Google Shallow Side. It can take you somewhere. If you want to get in depth, learn about a little more of the band, shallowside.net will take you there. All information that you need. We got our merchandise sitting right there.
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. We're all there.
Everything.
Porn.
They're all over the place. Did you always play bass? I see you have a guitar.
Dude, I'll play whatever you guys ever want me to play.
Are y'all gonna play anything? A little short something for us, or are y'all prepared for that? He's like, no.
Anything. Last night we were going to meet our friends down in North Carolina, and my buddy texted me. He's like, "Dude, did you bring the guitar? We're having in the hotel all night. How are we supposed to make music if you don't have one?" I'm like, "Dude, I wasn't planning it." And he's like, "Well, I want out and bought you this one."
Oh, nice. What is that?
I don't know. Man, it's just, I don't know. They just got it from a pawn shop, but it was just the concept of it. Just like, you don't got one? Well, here's one for you.
You got one? Get one.
But I play a PRS. I also play a PRS bass. PRS is like an awesome company that really awesome players use as well. Beautiful, sound awesome.
PRS, give them an endorsement. Come on.
PRS.
So definitely excited for everything that you guys are going to do here in 2023, guys. I'm so glad you guys. Before we go, is there anything that you'd like to let the fans know out here about Shallow Side?
We just like to say thank you. We appreciate you for letting us be a part of it, jumping on, promoting and putting our name into the heads of the listeners that you already have, man. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Have a great year. And definitely can't wait to hear the new music that you're about to release and everything. And hope to see you guys here in Texas on your tour. So make sure to check them out, guys. This is Eric. I'm seeing if I say it right. Is it Boatright?
Boatright. That's my last name. Yep.
Eric Boatright. Sorry. I just want to make sure. It's because I was like, is it Bauer or Bower?
Yep, Sam Bauer.
Can't wait to meet you guys in person.
Thanks, brother. Hopefully we see you in Texas.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great year. Rock on.
Bro.